In the deep recesses of night, where shadows stretch long and the world grows quiet, there lies a presence older than memory, a force woven into the very fabric of Japanese folklore. This is the Akuma, a being whose name stirs unease, whose legend is whispered in temple corridors and flickers in the imagination as darkness falls. Akuma, the demon of darkness, is not merely a figure of fear, but a symbol of something far more profound, the embodiment of evil, the shadow at the heart of humanity, and the whisper in the silence that drives men to madness. The origins of Akuma reach back through centuries of myth and religious tradition. In Japanese, the word Akuma, written as imo, translates directly to evil spirit, a term that carries weight and finality. Unlike the mischievous yokai, who flit between the worlds of playfulness and malice, Akuma is pure malevolence. Ancient tales describe it as a shadowed figure cloaked in flames, its eyes burning with unholy light, or sometimes as a formless darkness lurking just beyond the edge of sight. In early Buddhist lore, Akuma found a counterpart in Mara, the tempter, the adversary, who sought to lead seekers astray, clouding the path to enlightenment with desire and despair. When Christianity arrived on Japanese shores in the 16th century, missionaries found in Akuma the perfect word to translate the Christian devil. From that moment, the demon's identity shifted, growing to encompass the concept of absolute evil, an entity that corrupts hearts, sows chaos, and whispers destruction into the minds of men. Akuma became more than just a monster. It became the embodiment of every force that shatters peace and drives the world into darkness. The nature of Akuma is relentless and unforgiving. It is not the playful trickster nor the neutral spirit that some might imagine. Legends paint it as an agent of chaos, roaming the land and leaving calamity in its wake. Famine, war, plague. It is the invisible hand behind senseless violence, the shadow that amplifies despair, the voice that urges cruelty. Akuma thrives in times of suffering, feeding on the anguish of broken hearts and shattered dreams. One chilling legend tells of Akuma appearing as a flaming horse, galloping through the night, its hooves scorching the earth and marking the passage of ruin. Villagers would wake to find the land blackened and lifeless, the crops withered, and the air heavy with dread. Another tale describes Akuma as a vast shadow passing silently over a sleeping village. Those who glimpsed its form knew that death would soon follow, for its presence heralded sickness and sorrow. Yet Akuma's terror lies not only in physical destruction, but in the effect it has on the human soul. It is said to whisper into the minds of those who are vulnerable, urging them toward hatred, envy, and violence. Some stories recount how samurai, standing on the brink of battle, heard Akuma's voice urging them to surrender to rage, to become monsters themselves, to forsake honor for bloodshed. Monks meditating in lonely temples would sense its presence as a cold wind, a subtle shift in the air, and a voice tempting them away from spiritual peace. In folklore and symbolism, Akuma represents the darkest corners of human nature. Its role echoes that of Mara in Buddhist texts, the tempter demon who seeks to keep souls trapped in suffering, forever turning away from enlightenment. Akuma is the personification of those forces that drive us to ruin, the anger that burns uncontrollably, the greed that corrupts, the hatred that festers and divides. It serves as a warning, a reminder that the greatest dangers often lurk within, not without. Imagine for a moment encountering Akuma. The hour is late and you sit alone in a room lit only by a flickering candle. The silence is thick, pressing in from all sides, and the flame bends as if touched by an unseen hand, though no wind blows. Suddenly, a voice slips into your ear, a thought that is not your own, cold and venomous. It whispers words that chill your soul. You are nothing. End it. Burn it all. The candle sputters and dies, plunging the room into utter darkness. In that black void, two eyes ignite, glowing red and merciless. The air grows hot, searing your skin, and terror roots you to the spot. You want to flee, to scream, but your body will not obey. That is how Akuma comes, not with claws or fangs, but with despair so deep it threatens to drown you, a weight that crushes hope and makes escape impossible. As time has passed, Akuma has found new forms in modern culture. Its image appears in anime, in video games, in horror stories, and pop culture icons. Characters named Akuma are often ruthless, violent, or endowed with demonic strength, symbols of the same destructive forces that haunted ancient tales. Yet beneath these modern depictions lies something older and more unsettling. The lesson that evil is not always a monster you can see. Sometimes it is a whisper in your own thoughts, a darkness that feeds on your fears and doubts, growing stronger as you struggle against it. Akuma's true power is symbolic, a caution against the dangers that arise when negative emotions are left unchecked. It is the fire that consumes reason, the spirit that turns man against man, breaking bonds and sowing discord. Through its legend, Akuma reminds us that the line between good and evil runs not just through the world, but through every human heart. It urges us to confront the shadows within ourselves, lest we fall prey to the same forces that have haunted generations. So, when the night grows heavy and a wave of despair washes over you, when a voice inside urges you toward destruction, toward anger, toward darkness, ask yourself, is it merely your own mind, or has Akuma found you? In the end, the demon's greatest trick is convincing us that we are powerless against its whisper, that we cannot resist its pull. But legend teaches us otherwise. By recognizing the darkness, by naming it, and by holding fast to hope, we can turn away from Akuma's path and find our way back into the light.